welcome back to another episode of Mavis and Me. Today I want to talk about an email that I found in my inbox this morning from Petco. And Petco now has a new policy that they will not be selling e-collars, electric collars or shock collars if you want to call them that, anything that's activated via remote. Well, I don't know about that. The reason behind it was to, be humane and respect dogs as living, thinking, creatures that respond better to positive rewards. What do I think about that? Well, I agree. Yeah, 100%. Everything learns better when positive rewards are brought into the situation. And generally speaking, a lot of bad behaviors will extinguish if you just ignore them and you don't reward the dog for them. Meaningful bonds are created by enthusiastic trainers who encourage their dogs to want to work for treats or rewards, right? Sure, I agree with that, all 100%. However, not all dogs respond to the allure of treats, pets, and praise, play, things like that. Sometimes whatever they're doing wrong is more valuable to them than anything that you're going to offer them. And to lump all dogs into this thought that every dog can learn with 100% positive reward training is pretty ridiculous, and it's irresponsible in my opinion, because you're leaving out these dogs on the outer edges of this lump that don't respond to those things, that can't mentally respond to, a piece of steak over pouncing on a cat, right? Or biting somebody or doing something like that. There are many lovely dogs that are in that lump of dogs that learn with reward-based training that still they don't have strong recalls or impulse control, and they're already adults. It's going to take a long time to teach them something different. So let's go into the behaviors that I think e-collars can be helpful. And really, it's not much. I'm not a huge e-collar fan. I've never put an e-collar on Mavis. I've never needed to. I got her as a puppy, and I used positive rewards to encourage her to think and do things correctly. I definitely told her when she was wrong. I made a point of saying, "Oh no, bad," or or whatever. But I didn't, need to use e-collars because the very few things that I think e-collars are valuable for, doesn't have a problem with. So the first one is recalls. Really important. Dogs have to have a good recall, and not all dogs do. There's certain breeds that just don't want to come back because they have another agenda going, and there's definitely individuals within all breeds that have learned, probably because they weren't trained properly as a puppy, but not to come back because the fun ends. Who won't come, who find it more rewarding to run than to be given treats, being played with, or praised. That's a situation where an e-collar can remotely encourage that dog to return to you. By taking an e-collar out of the game and making that not an option, now you have a dog that might go out and get hit by a car, might run up to another strange dog that doesn't like other dogs and get into a dog fight. The dogs are chasing animals maybe, things like that. You can't control, you can try to control your own dog. You can keep it on a leash and keep it locked in a house and keep it locked in the yard, but things happen. Leashes fall off, slip leads fall off, crates pop open, people open doors in the house and let dogs scoot by. You can open the door in your car, your dog could dive out and take off, because it saw a squirrel in a park somewhere. And it's times like that where having an e-collar would be your only option to really stop that dog and encourage it to return to you. The other time that I think an e-collar is valuable is for the leave it command. And when you have a dog with overwhelming prey drive that can't control itself, sometimes just teaching it to leave it is really the way to go. And just throwing out a treat to the dog saying, "Here, leave it, leave that, screaming kitty cat, and here, take this piece of whatever, steak." Not all dogs are going to respond to that. Some would rather just go get that cat or get that whatever, So you can maybe teach a dog to ignore, a pen of chickens, walk by a pen of chickens in a heel and not be distracted by it. And even maybe have a chicken on the ground that the dog can walk back and forth by. But if that chicken starts flapping, it's a good chance that a dog who really wants to get chickens, that's going to be over threshold, and the dog's going to go nuts, right? And try to pounce on the chicken and kill it. Having an e-collar would be a valuable way to encourage that dog to continue ignoring that stimulus and focusing on its handler. I'm not saying that I like e-collars for training these things, but I like them for proofing these things and encouraging the dog to continue with its good decisions. I'm not necessarily saying, look at the flappy chicken, shocking you for it. That's not what I'm saying, right? I believe in behavior modification and encouraging dogs to make the right choice, but you can't control the environment around you all the time. And sometimes your dog needs to make the right choice despite the fact that maybe the stimulus has gotten a little over threshold. So that's when I would think that an e-collar would be valuable for that. Now, let's talk about 100% positive training. Do I believe in it? Sure. For an animal behaviorist who has all the time in the world to work with one specific dog's issue, I think yes, you could probably fix everything with positive reinforcement. Do I think that is something we should be telling the average pet owner? No. The average pet owner does not have the tools to change a dog's behavior and teach them to do things correctly all the time. I've seen it time and time again where people have a puppy, they don't train it what they think, they don't realize they need to train it certain things as a puppy, and the dog now is a 95-pound enthusiastic teenager, and they can't manage it. They can't get it to come back when it's called because it's been learned that the fun is to run away and not come back, things like that. So I don't think that positive reinforcement all the time is the answer. Most of the time, honestly, I think that a lot of the time we need the other end of the conversation. It needs to be balanced. The dog needs to know when it's being good and be rewarded heavily and encouraged. And, that's what you should be aiming for all the time. But if a dog makes a poor choice, it needs to learn there's consequences to that choice. And, the first time, maybe it's just, oh, no. It doesn't have to be something violent or, nasty. You don't have to yank on a prong collar or shock the dog with a, e-collar turned all the way up. You just need to teach it. That's not okay. I don't like that. Don't do that. And if the dog chooses to do that again, it needs to maybe be reinforced that is not a good behavior to choose. Choose the other one instead. So, all in all, I think Petco is making a huge mistake. I think that they have this petition going where they want people to sign it and encourage the e-collars to be taken off the market, I guess. And I think that's ridiculous. I think we're going to see a whole lot of pets that are going to be sent to the Humane Society and a whole lot of pets that are going to be killed because they're going to be hit by cars and put themselves out there in dangerous situations, and the pet owner's not going to be able to handle it. So that's my thought on this whole thing. I'd love to hear your opinions. Please comment down below and let me know what you think about this ban on e-collars. All right, until next time, have a good one, you guys. Bye.